Hey everyone, Scott with the Scottman. We're here to do a driving video today here on I-35 West. We're heading from Highway 67 near Alvarado, Texas. We're going to go all the way up to I-820 up in or to the north of Fort Worth, Texas. It is a beautiful Monday afternoon here in northern Texas. Car thermometer is reading around 69 degrees Fahrenheit, which is just a little bit above 20 degrees Celsius. And there's absolutely no clouds in the sky today, so it is absolutely gorgeous. But yeah, just got done checking out Glen Rose, Texas, which is just going southwest on Highway 67. Which also has Dinosaur Valley State Park, which is a beautiful state park with a lot of great hiking trails, even some dinosaur tracks in the Biloxi River too. So yeah, I think we're heading out of Alvarado now. So what's cool about I-35 is that north and south of Fort Worth, it's like, because yeah, I-35 itself comes from Laredo, Texas, near the border with Mexico. It goes all the way up to Duluth, Minnesota. However, in the Dallas and Fort Worth area, I-35 splits off into two separate freeways. Like just a little bit to the south here, I-35 branches off in the two directions. I-35 West, which is what we're on right now, it goes through Fort Worth, and then there's I-35 East, which goes to the eastern part of the area toward Dallas. But they both come back together up in Denton, Texas, and then it continues its way up to Oklahoma and then Kansas, and then Missouri, going up to Minnesota. I-35 also does the same thing too up in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area too, up in southeastern Minnesota. Yeah, definitely need to get to Minneapolis-St. Paul at some point. Not at this time of the year because it is freezing cold, basically between late November through like March. Because with brutal winters with bitterly cold temperatures and snow, it's like, no thank you. It's bad enough I live in Michigan during the winter where it's pretty cold already and there's a lot of snow. As I'm filming, there's only 3 days until Thanksgiving and it is nice and comfortable out right now, pretty warm. Although, of course, I am from Michigan, so this is considered warm for me, but in a good way. I-35 West is definitely a pretty busy highway because as we get closer into Fort Worth, we're going to see a lot more in the way of heavier traffic. We might even see some slowdowns up ahead, too. Not immediately, but once we get close to the city, we could see some slowdowns. So I know there's some road work in different areas. I've had a great time here in North Texas the past 2.5 days. I got to, we're like early 2020, back in February, I was able to check out Dallas and some of the suburbs around the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I made a return trip to Dallas-Fort Worth, but mainly to check out Fort Worth. So other than the day trip I did to Glen Rose today, I spent all of yesterday and then the majority of Saturday, because I flew in on Saturday, to check out Fort Worth. And Fort Worth is a beautiful city. Like, really like the water fountain park that's in downtown. Also, of course, the stockyards where I got to see the cattle drive. Also, the botanical gardens are really, really cool, especially the Japanese garden that's there. It's very, very beautiful. And even got to check out one of the art museums too, the Kimball Art Museum, which is the permanent collection is absolutely free. So it's like you got to see some really cool artwork that's mainly from like European painters. I saw some paintings from like Rembrandt and Monet in there. That's a pretty cool water park off to the right. Definitely not open this time of the year because it's too chilly for a water park. Well, at least an outdoor water park. Wouldn't surprise me if there are indoor water parks here in Texas, but it's hard to say though. But of course, while I was in Fort Worth too, I've had some great food, and I'm planning to have some barbecue tonight for dinner, so I'm looking forward to that. But I've had some great food. Had some delicious chicken wings the first night, and then yesterday for lunch I went to Joe T. Garcia's Mexican restaurant for some great Tex-Mex. The chicken fajitas were really good, and I even got to meet up with two longtime followers of mine, which I even get to show them briefly in my restaurant tour for Fort Worth that I've been filming because I got to finish it tonight. But yeah, unfortunately I fly back home to Michigan tomorrow morning, which I'm not looking forward to that because where it's in the mid to upper 60s right now, here it is only in the low to mid 30s in Detroit, and that's the high temperature. No, thank you. It's like the funny thing is I've lived in Michigan almost all my life, and I think the winters are horrible. It's like I would totally get out of Michigan during the winter, but I can't because my job requires me to be in the office 3 days a week. Oh well. Oh yeah, I still haven't been to one of those Bucky's convenience stores yet. Like, the Bucky's is a big gas station and convenience store that's located like along a lot of the freeways throughout the state of Texas. I think there's even some that are out of Texas too, but it's mainly a Texas thing. It's one of those must stops, although I've never really had a chance to stop at a Bucky's. If I have time, maybe off camera this evening, I might drive to one, but only if I have time. If not, I'll be back to Texas at some point. I'll have to stop into the Bucky's at some point. It's one of those bucket list items to do when you visit Texas. So I think the one that the Bucky's that sign was pointing to, there is one on I-35 West between Fort Worth and Denton, Texas, which is going to be well to the north of where we're finishing this, or where we're concluding this video. I think we might be approaching our work zone in a little bit. Start anything yet though, so okay, yeah, road work next 8 miles, so I'll be curious if that's for 8 miles or it's just gonna be within the 8 miles. Doesn't look like it's coming up any time soon though. We're starting to get into the southern part of the Fort Worth area. So I can usually tell when there's additional lanes on the freeway. A big shopping area here. Got lot of restaurants I see, like Chick-fil-A, Outback Steakhouse, On the Border, Hibachi Place. Also saw a Cracker Barrel, Red Lobster, Olive Garden, like all the big chain restaurants along in here. I will say, Texas has a really nice freeway system whenever you're not stuck in traffic. Because yeah, I mentioned about this in the I-30 video I did when I first came here back on Saturday, which was probably last week's upload in terms of drive videos. But yeah, it's like, yeah, when you're driving around the cities of Texas, yeah, you can see all sorts of different traffic jams, whether it's because of road work, because of traffic accidents, or even just congestion in general. Because yeah, there can be Dallas-Fort Worth itself can have some bad traffic as it is, but I know Houston, it's really, really bad. And then Austin, yeah, I've heard the traffic in Austin can be really bad as well during rush hour, just because of all the people moving to Austin these days. It's like the highways and the freeways in that area weren't really built for all the heavy traffic. So it's like, it's just bogging down the highways down there. But yeah, although my trips here has only been just for like a long weekend, I've had a great time. I definitely will be back to Texas at some point. I do need to get back down to Houston at some point because there are some more videos I want to film down in Houston. But not only that too, I do got family down there I wouldn't mind seeing at some point too. Because yeah, my grandmother, because I still have one living grandparent left, my paternal grandmother, I think she's in her early 80s, I believe. Either early 80s or late 70s, I'm not exactly sure. It's like was not as close to her as I was my maternal grandmother, just because my paternal grandmother lived down here in Texas, where my maternal grandmother and maternal grandfather lived in Michigan, where I was able to see them quite often. But yeah, unfortunately, my paternal grandmother, yeah, she has really bad Alzheimer's right now, which is, yeah, really sad. But yeah, I know she hasn't really been able to see a whole lot of people other than my aunt who she lives with, especially due to the pandemic. They did get vaccinated though, which is good though. So I'm not sure if they'll plan a trip up to Michigan or not. If not, I should maybe go down to see them at some point. I know my dad wants to see them as well too. So yeah, here's the slow because I think we do got some actual road work coming up ahead. But so far it seems just to be a little slow, not stop and go, thankfully. But that, of course, can always change. As for upcoming trips, I'm not sure what I want to do yet. I kind of want to do something right after Christmas. Or I'm thinking either Florida or, who knows, maybe back down to Texas again. You never know. But I drive, though. For this quick trip, it made more sense just to fly. areas in Texas I would like to see too. It's like, because I've been to Dallas and Fort Worth, been to Houston, been to Austin, San Antonio, I've been to Corpus Christi. Haven't been to South Padre Island yet, so that's always a spot I could go to. Probably would not want to go down during spring break though, or it's going to be absolutely crazy down there. I should get out to West Texas as well, like El Paso. I've even heard Big Bend National Park's pretty cool too, and also I think the other national park out there is called Guadalupe Peak. I'm not sure if that's the actual name of the national park, but that's supposed to be pretty cool too. That's one cool thing about Texas, that it's very, like, just Texas itself is very diverse in terms of landscapes. Like, you got the piney woods off to the eastern part of the state, like all these forests, even some bayous as well, and then of course get down to the Texas coast where you got the beautiful coastline going along the Gulf of Mexico. You got the Great Plains in far northern Texas, especially go up toward like Amarillo and Lubbock. Oh, here's a huge interchange for I-20. Go I-20 east, that'll take you out to Dallas, and then head I-20 west, and it'll take you out to Abilene, and eventually to West Texas, where it meets up with I-10 to head all the way up to the far western part of the state toward El Paso. But yeah, it's like these big interchanges here in Texas are really cool. Although you would not want to be on them during a winter storm. You may not have to worry about that as much in like places like Houston, but in Dallas Fort Worth it can be a big problem in the winter if it gets cold enough to see like freezing rain or even snow. Because yes, it does snow here. Although not very often. Because yeah, matter of fact, yeah, back in February 2021, like, there was a very historic winter storm that affected all of Texas, where it knocked out electricity for the majority part of the state. So the bitter cold temperatures was, and with everybody using like the heat and things like that, was too much for the power grid to handle. I don't live in Texas, so I can't really talk about things they could do, but yeah, they definitely need to try to invest in some improvements to the power grid in Texas, so that way things don't happen, something like that doesn't happen again, where if it gets bitterly cold due to some crazy winter storm or something, that there's not these massive power outages. Yeah, we're seeing some, left lane closed, so we got some road work coming up. There wasn't really even road work back there where it slowed down back there. It was probably just congestion in general. Yeah, this time we're slowing down a lot more. And that truck is taking its time merging. Yeah, right now we're inching our way closer into the city, and at a certain point too, it's like you'll even see express lanes for I-35 West, which what the express lanes are, which once we get up there you'll see what I mean, is that it's basically like they're express lanes where it's like he bypasses a lot of the different exits through the Fort Worth area. Higher speed limits, but the only downside is that the express lanes are tolled, so you do have to pay for the express lanes. Oh yeah, here's the road work right here. It's only down to one lane, but still is enough to cause some congestion here. I don't even know what they're doing, to be honest. Nice it was short. I think the speed limit's still 70 miles an hour. Okay, I think I might be able to get over now. Yep, there we go. That car just picked back up. I should not be over here for too long because, yeah, the express lanes are going to be starting pretty soon. Oh, yeah, I'm already starting to see the skyscrapers for Fort Worth. Is a pretty beautiful city, I have to say. I really enjoyed it. Oh, I almost forgot. Last night I got to check out the Parade of Lights, which is it's like a early Christmas parade that they put on every year in like the middle to late part of November. Had all these cool vehicles and of course these marching bands go down all decorated with like Christmas lights. It looked really, really cool. I did not time this trip for that, but since I was here for that, or since I was here when that was going on, it's like I had to check it out. Yep, so we're already approaching the interchange for I-30. Oh, look at the traffic going the other way. Could be I think it's probably the beginning of rush hour traffic. As a matter of fact, after I finish this video, I'll be coming back down to Fort Worth to get dinner, so I'm going to have to face some of this traffic, unfortunately. A really massive interchange for I-30. I-30 East also goes to Dallas, and then eventually the Texarkana up to Little Rock, Arkansas. I-30 West takes you all the way over to... meets up with I-20 to go to Abilene. And then, yeah, it's going to slow down here because we got a lot of traffic coming on the freeway from I-30. So, yeah, this is bogging down quite a bit because of it. Well, in fact, yeah, we're completely, almost completely stopping. I believe it's the. It's like I could try to get over, but I just don't know if the left two lanes are the express lanes or just the left lane. That's the only thing. I don't want to get over this left lane and then get stuck going on the toll road. Okay, the toll road's the left lane, so I can go ahead and get over. So I got lucky here. Yeah, look at all the traffic getting on the freeway. So you want to take the express lanes, which is a toll road. Yeah, it starts right over here at I-30. You're going to want to be in the left lane. Yeah, there's a lot of people merging onto the freeway. You just got to be careful of people doing exactly what that person was doing in front of me, although he did it safely. So that worked out very well. And to be honest with you, we don't have that much further to go in this video, just about another several miles until we get to I-820. Okay, yeah, much better. And most likely, well, there could be another slowdown up ahead too, because there is a stretch of I-35 West which does go down to 2 lanes, not because of road work or anything, but yeah, it might slow down up there too. Yeah, I see a lot of traffic going south right now, so it's like, might be a little tricky getting back into town, but it's not that. People are, looks like, well, that's the express lanes. The local lanes, yeah, they're pretty much stop and go, for what I'm seeing. I think we're going over the Clear Fork of the Trinity River right now, if I'm not mistaken. Oh yeah, look how bad that traffic is going into the city. There's always a possibility I could consider doing the express lanes and just pay the toll. Thankfully, this rental car has that plate pass, which is the thing for Hertz, where it's expensive to use, but I'll have to think about it though. Oh, that's good. This isn't too congested here. It might be in a little bit though when more and more traffic starts heading out of the city. Because yeah, for the Thanksgiving holiday, although I took today and tomorrow off for the holiday, for the Thanksgiving holiday, today is a normal business day, so people are still committing to work. Seeing a little bit of a slowdown up ahead, although I don't think it's gonna be anything like what I saw going the other direction. Or a second thought, maybe so. Okay, oh yeah, this doesn't look too bad. Say the interchange for I-820 is going to be approaching pretty soon here. So look at the sign, another mile and a quarter to go. Oh yeah, you can see the interchange all the way that way. But yeah, Dallas-Fort Worth metroplex is quite a nice area, I have to say, although of course the traffic can be insane. So it's like if you move to Texas and you work, let's say you work remotely, then it's probably absolute paradise, I have to say. So then you don't really have to worry about traffic jams as much. Okay, another half mile to go to 820, although this is going to be a slow half mile because, yeah, there's some more slowdowns here. I can't imagine what this is going to be like an hour from now. Oops, so this is going to be my last driving video from this, well, not Dallas, but this Fort Worth trip. And most likely my next driving video is probably going to be back in Michigan. Because there were some more videos in Michigan I want to film too. And yeah, a little fun fact, my hotel's not too far from here. It's just a little bit to the east of the interchange here. I'm probably gonna get up at, off camera, gonna get up at Fossil Creek Boulevard and then head back into Fort Worth. So here's this really big interchange with I-820. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed this driving video here on I-35 West, going from Highway 67 near Alvarado, Texas, all the way up to I-820 just north of Fort Worth, Texas. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to click that subscribe button to come along and join me for the adventure. And don't forget to click that notification bell so that way you know when a new video goes live. Well, thanks for watching, and this is Scott from the Scottman signing out.